everyone. So in this video we will be solving a new problem which is print n-bit binary numbers having more ones than zeros. So it's a medium level problem as you can see here. So let's see the problem statement. Problem statement: we have given a positive number, positive integer, and your task is to generate the string list of n-bit binary numbers where for any prefix of the number there are more than or equal to equal number of ones than zeros. The number should be in sorted decreasing order of magnitude. So let's see the approach for this exactly. So first see the example. Like number of ones should be greater than the or equal to zero. Means how many times in one is coming, that should be greater than or equal to how many times of zero is coming. Like we have given a binary string like 10101. So if we take this part, so one number of ones is 1 and number of zeros is 0. As you can see here, this is the count of ones and this is the count of zeros. Here in this part, number of ones is 1, number of zeros is 0. Condition is satisfied. Then in this part 1 comma 0, number of ones is 1 and number of zeros is 1 also. So this condition is also satisfied because number of ones should be greater than or equal to number of zeros. So condition is satisfied. So in this part you can see number of ones is 2, number of zeros is 1. Satisfied. Number in this part number of ones is 2, number of zeros is also 2. So condition is satisfied. And in this part also the number of ones is 2, number of zeros is 2, number of ones is 3 and number of zeros is 2. So the condition is satisfied. So this whole string is applicable for this given question. If we take this string 100, you can see here number of 1s is 1 and number of zeros is 0. But if we take this whole string 100, the number of zeros is 2, number of 1s is 1. So our condition is going false. So in this case, this is not acceptable. So let's see the approach one. Approach one is simple, like if n is equal to 3, so how many strings can we can generate, like 2 to the power 3? 8. 8 it can be like 000, 001, 010 up to 111. It is a binary strings, digit to binary strings. So total 8 strings can generate, and now we can count how many times number of ones is occurring, how many times 0 is occurring. So in that way we can do this, but the approach 2 is very logical and optimal. What we can do in this approach is we can count number of ones and number of zero. Initially number of ones is 0 and number of zeros is 0. Okay, so we can do one thing: either we can take 1 or either we can take 0. If we take 1, then it will be like 1, and now we can check number of 1 is 1, number of 0 is 0. It is good. If we take 0, तो क्या होगा, number of 1 is 0, number of 0 is now 1 because we are taking 0 here. So number of 0 is 1. So you can see here number of 1 is less than number of zeros. In this condition, what I can say, it is false condition because the number of ones should be greater than or equal to number of zeros. So it is false. So we will not take this. Now we will take this one. We can either we have, now we have two parts, like we can take 1 or 0. If we take 1, then it will be like 1 1 and number of ones is 2, number of 0 is 0. And here if we take 0, then it will be like 1 comma 0. 1 comma 0, number of 1 is 1 and number of 0 is all also 1. So it is also a good condition. So now we will do again this, and you can see number of 1 is 3 and number of 0 is 0. You can do, you can see this also, you can see this also. Here if you will take number 0 here, then it will be like 1 1 1 0 0. So number of 1 is 1, number of zeros is 2. So this is a false condition. So now we have three substrings, like three strings we can say, because n equals to 3, so it will be like, it will stop here. So index 1 here, 1 2 and 3, it will stop here. Now we have three strings, 111, 110 and 101. So by seeing this, you can see one thing, yeah, ki if we will not think about adding of 1, because adding of 1 is good for my answer. Like to add 1, will not think about this, because if we add 1, then it will increase our count of 1. So we will not think about this. If we add 0, then we have to check Like if the number of 1 is less than number of 0 or greater than or equal to 0. So it depends on how many number of zeros is there. It not depends on how many number of ones we are adding, because if we add one, then it will be good for my string. So we have to check if we are adding 0. Now we have to check if we are adding 1. So it's a good condition. So we'll not check about this, because if we add 1, it will increase our ones count of 1. So it is good for me. So let's do the code for this. So coding part is very simple for this. Let's see the code. So for the coding part, what we can do is I will create a vector of string type which is answer, and also I'll create a temporary string which is initially null equals to null. And now we can create a function like solve function, and in solve function I can pass like string, this temporary string, comma, answer, vector that we have to return, okay, comma, 0 comma 0 comma 0 comma 0. It is showing that like number of ones initially and number of zeros initially these two are 0, and comma this n comma this 0. This 0 is showing the index. Like I will explain you, like this 0 is showing the number of ones count, this 0 is showing the number of zeros count, and this showing the index. Because as you can see here, if n equals to 3, then we have to go up to 3 index. Like we will not want to go to this. So and finally we will return our answer. So yeah, return answer. So let's create the function for this. So void solve. In solve function, what I will pass? I'll pass our string s. We can say temp. So it should be in by reference. So by reference pass कर देते हैं, ठीक है? So comma vector int answer comma int zeros comma int ones comma int n comma int index. I बोल रहा हूँ, ठीक है? So now we'll write a base condition for this. So base case क्या होगा? If I equals to n, if my index, if I am at the ending index n equals to 3 here, you can see the example. So if I am at the ending index, in that case I'll do, I'll simply push this temporary string into my vector, and simply I will return. And now a main thing will come here. So if I am taking, like I am commenting out also, if I am taking 1 in my string substring, we can say substring. So if I am taking 1, so 1 तो ले रहा हूँ, तो number of 1 increase होंगे. So उस केस में तो मेरे को सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है. Simply I can put this 1 in my string. So like solve of temp. So temp में plus 1 comma answer comma ones, sorry zeros है ना ये तो. So zeros, अरे यार क्या, zeros comma ones plus 1, number of count of ones plus 1 comma n comma index भी increase होता है I plus 1. if I am taking if I am taking 0, that in that case what I will do, I have to check a condition. If zeros plus 1, if it is zero number of zeros plus 1, if it is greater than ones, then in this condition it is false, because number of zeros plus 1 is greater than 1. So it is like we have given this number of count of ones should be greater than equal to 0. So if this condition occurs, like zeros plus 1 less than equals to 1, This condition is true for adding 0 in my temporary string. So now we will simply do solve of temp plus 0 comma answer comma 0 plus 1 comma 1s comma and comma or simply increase the I also. So this was the code and finally we will return it simply. So return this. Now check if any case is missing or not, and then we will submit this. I think this code is perfect. Let's see. Let's run this and see if this will work or not. It is giving me some error, answer dot pushback. So I have created a vector also. So now answer dot pushback of temp. So what is the problem here? So function for call to this back function. Let's now again, what is the problem? No matching function for call vector. So what is the problem here? So now again run this code and see now if this will work or not. I have changed something in this. Yeah, now it is working perfect. Let's submit this code. Yeah, it is working perfect. As you can see here, 1115 cases pass. So this was the code. I'll explain it in short way. Like what we are doing is that we are creating an answer vector that we have to return, and we are creating a temporary string that we have to store the substrings in that temporary string, and we are creating a function. In function, I am passing temporary string answer vector, start number of zeros, number of ones count, and is given n is given, and index initially index is 0. Okay, and I finally I'm returning our answer. So let's create this. So we are creating a void solve function. In solve function I have passed all the components. Now I'll do like if I equals to in that case what I will do, I will simply push my temporary string into my answer, and simply we are returning it. And if we are taking one, then we'll not think about this. If we are taking ones, it means the number of ones count will increase, so it is good condition for us because we have to check like number of ones should be greater than or equal to number of zeros. So if we are increasing ones, so it will be good for me. If we are creating, if we are increasing zeros, like if we are taking zeros, then we have to check this condition: zeros plus 1 is less than equals to 1, then is that condition is good. So that in that case we'll add this 0 into my temporary string, and finally we will return. So this was the complete code. If you find this helpful, then please like, share, subscribe to Kele.